Blog Talk Radio.
Life seems to crush your dreams, so find your balance for all you need. A little work, some family fun. Find your love, keep your life on the run. Told you how the story goes, so write your own script before you grow old. Live your life, laugh out loud. Own who you are, stand up proud. You gotta find what works for you. Find a balance that lets you be you.
Good evening and welcome to the Star Chamber Show live podcast. It is a wonderful Wednesday evening here in the heart of the Bluegrass, Lexington, Kentucky, where I, Stephen Zimmer, am broadcasting live from for the 365th episode. Yes, we've had a few of these so far. And joining me tonight as co-host, the one, the only, the lovely, the vivacious, and the loquacious Holly Phillippe. Hey, Holly, how are you?
So, I'm above ground.
It's like we're only like 30 feet away from each other in separate rooms, but it always seems like, you're at a different location when we talk.
Well, I am.
So,
I'm in the bedroom. You're in the office. We are in different locations.
Yes, that is true. That is true. But that keeps things from getting too convoluted with the live calls. So that's good. And it gives you a chance to be a little extra comfortable. So, and I don't know if Vicky and Albert are in there with you, but I may have one of them
Albert
in here.
Left. He was in here, but Vicky is in my computer chair in there with you.
Okay.
She's
in here.
taking over my chair. Yeah.
So we have some silent co-hosts, we'll call them right now.
Uh-huh.
But it's going to be a good show tonight. I am looking forward to this one a lot and get to go into some topics we don't always get to discuss on the show. We're going to hold off on, we'll leave you with that teaser right now. We'll hold off on that. The chat room is open. Refresh if you have any trouble logging in. That's sometimes a little glitchy, but just refresh your page, and you should be able to get into the chat room. And it looks like the first one in tonight is award-winning author and filmmaker Amy Lee McCorkle, and I know she'll be watching the Imaginarium site because in one of the next couple of days, it may be maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. We don't know just yet. We are going to have the first wave of official selections start to get released for the Imaginarium Convention Independent Film Festival. So that's exciting times. Of course, not all slots will be announced at once. We still have a late deadline running till the end of May, and so that's left open just to give a little more time for projects that are finishing up late toward the convention. And we do leave a small portion of our official selection slots back for consideration of those projects in light of that. And but they are going to be filling up a big batch of them, and they will be rolling out over the next couple of weeks with the first wave probably on Saturday, and if we get real lucky, maybe on Friday. So we're just going to see how it goes. No promises, but there's a little scoop for you all, and keep a lookout on the site tomorrow because we are going to have going to announce the keynote speech topic along with a new workshop and a new panel. So we'll have some new programming to announce, and we're going to have more guests coming and all kinds of stuff. And so, it's just always happening. I mean, since last week we gave you the scoop before it got announced publicly that Sean Burton Sanders was coming on as a spotlighted guest, and then since him, we have had some amazing people added to the guest list, which is has been just so strong and just keeps getting better and better and better. And on that note, one new spotlighted guest that we added, and if you are a fan of Ancient Aliens, the hit TV show, you may recognize this one, Arlen Andrews Sr., and he is a futurist, he's an author, he's an editor, and he's just done so much. I mean, it is absolutely crazy, all the stuff that he's done. For instance, he's got no less than over 100 short stories and 400 nonfiction pieces that have been put in magazines and publications and all kinds of things since he first appeared in Isaac Asimov's science fiction magazine way back in January of 1980. But he's a retired engineer, but he's had a career that's included positions with at White Sands Missile Range, the White House Science Office, National Laboratories, and high-tech startups. And he also is the founder of Sigma, which is a science fiction think tank of about 40 science fiction and game writers who provide pro bono futurism consultation to the U.S. government and other organizations. So how wild is that, Ollie? He's part of it, not just part of a think tank of science fiction and game writers, but he founded it, and they work with the U.S. government. That's interesting stuff. Cool. I mean, definitely. Because, like we said, creatives think out of the box, and that's just that's a good source for coming up with concepts and ideas and out of the box thinking. But we talked.
He's very approachable and answer any questions you have.
Super nice guy, definitely a favorite guest of ours. He's been to several Imaginariums, and we love having him there. I mean, he brings just so much to the panels and to the atmosphere, and you can definitely catch him hanging out a lot in that bar restaurant at our new site. And great guy, and but we're not done. We're not done. And we are going to give you a couple panelists right now. One is the wonderful MP Starkweather, and she is an author and publisher, and just a really good writer. So definitely you want to meet her when you come to Imaginarium. And then also coming as a panelist is author, poet, and musician, and Dave Grohl lookalike Carl R. Moore. As we joke.
Like my butt. We know the truth, wink, wink.
Or
wink,
it could
wink.
be. You never know. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Who knows? Who knows? It is uncanny sometimes with him, though. But he is a great guitar player, and we were talking on the phone the other day, and he's getting the itch to actually bring his guitar to the convention. So I hope that happens. That would be an absolute blast if he does, because he's a lot of fun. He's actually getting ready to play some rock again, but he has in New York, in upstate New York where he lives, he has a very successful bluegrass band that gets a lot of gigs and evidently gets paid pretty decently. But he's actually part of a bluegrass band, who of course is definitely part of the heart and soul of Kentucky here, but all the way up there in upstate New York. And we're going to have to just do a road trip sometime and go see him up there and catch the band and be representatives of Kentucky at this at a bluegrass show. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. But Carl is just a blast. I mean, he's definitely somebody that you just want around all the time. And then the fourth guest that I get to announce tonight that's been announced publicly is Sean Speakman, and he is coming as a spotlighted guest. He is an award-winning author, editor, and publisher, and his credits include The Tempered Steel of Antiquity, Gray, Song of the Fell Hammer, and The Dark Thorn. These are his releases, and he's also the editor of Unbound and 3 Unfettered anthologies. And if that's not enough, he's the owner of the Signed Page and Grim Oak Press. So he does it all. Yeah, he's successful as an author, as an editor, and as a publisher. And he has one of the coolest. I couldn't believe it. I got it. But his author image is actually a painting done by a top fantasy illustrator, and it's just absolutely awesome. So get a look at his graphic banner on the site when you get a chance. Definitely looking forward to having Sean join us. Great guy. And welcome to Clayton Barnett. It looks like Metalbeck Harrison, and the one, the only, the amazing Dave Mattingly. And that brings us to the other topic, because they're about to get announced, and we have three new Imaginarium individual patrons, and so this is cool because I get to actually thank him personally, because it's coming out probably tomorrow, and their badges and everything. But H. David Blaylock, David Mattingly, and Brittany Snyder are all new patrons for Imaginarium. And yeah, definitely, if you want to become one, you can go do so on the site. Yeah, it's definitely a great way to show support for the event. And yeah, we are we are grassroots developed, so that stuff helps us a lot. So, but thank you so much to all of you. And yeah, the big announcements on that will be coming out tomorrow. Looks like along with some of that new programming with Tanita Johnson's keynote speech, a great workshop from Rachel Louise Martin, and then a new panel, which yeah, Holly and I are going to shore up a couple notes on. But yeah, we actually added it a little bit out of the Conference of Writers that we went to last weekend, and we'll give a quick review of that. Holly and I had a wonderful experience again at it. It was just great. Yeah, two Kentucky poet laureates, Frank X. Walker and Richard Taylor, were there, and just wonderful writers like Stephen Vest and Shannon McRoberts, who also is going to be a panelist at the Imaginarium, and just absolutely great day all around. Vibes are so good. I mean, the panelists and speakers are so approachable, and it's just wonderful all around. And major shout out to Virginia Smith, who is the instigator of it, along with the Bluegrass Writers Coalition. But yeah, just a great first class day, first class venue. We had a first class catered lunch. Yeah, they just treated us marvelously. And I did a seminar that I debuted on why all writers should read and study speculative fiction. In other words, how speculative fiction can help all writers, no matter what your genre is, improve your craft. And I based it around 5 topic areas, and I didn't have any idea going in how it'd go. Holly knows. I was like, well, I have no idea how this one's going to go, and but I really wanted to give it because I thought it'd be interesting, because a lot of the writers there are not spec fic writers. And just to give you an idea of how well it went, I actually had a non-spec fic writer come up to me afterwards and say, you know, I never read speculative fiction and never bothered writing it or anything like that, but after hearing your points, I think I'm going to rethink that. So to me, that was actually one of the best compliments I got. And yeah, a lot of people really liked it. Several wanted me to give it an Imaginarium. Multiple people were telling me I needed to like flesh it out and present it as an actual writing book. So like it would be my first nonfiction writing book project if I were to do that. But I think it has a good structure and core for that. But yeah, it was a good one. And then I did one panel of their panel professionals at the end of the day, and that went just so well. It was such a good group, as I said. So great. Yeah, and Holly, yeah, you had a good experience too.
I did.
Yeah.
Great guest and a great time overall. I mean, it goes fast. It's like from 9 to 4, but man, it flew by because you just stay so busy, you know, with and they, instead of having just one panel room, a programming room this year, they did 2. So, you know, there was multiple things, a couple things going on at the same time for a couple sessions. So yeah, you stay busy, and you know, if you don't have a vending table, you can shop, you know, in between times. And we have a great meal. That's, oh my God, the catering's always great. And yeah, just the networking is just fantastic. You meet a lot of really cool creatives, and you have a lot of cool discussions. And yeah, like Steve said, we got a panel out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. And it's going to be a dandy. So look on the site tomorrow. But we're coming close to our guest call-in. And, yes, I'll give you a hint, because we have one of our Imaginarium award-winning cosplayers in the chat room, Clayton Barnett, who was a winner last year at the costume contest. But cosplay is going to be a theme tonight. But on that note, we're going to go recognize Sandy Lender, the genre blender, and Ren Garcia, who brought you tonight's show. Yeah, and definitely, and we're, you know, we don't kid about that. We deeply appreciate the support of those such as Sandy and Ren for helping support the show. It does have hard costs involved, you know, so that we can do the live call-in stuff and bring in extra guests and all kinds of fun stuff. So thanks to them, we can. So first of all, I'm going to give it over to Sandy, and then we'll give you a little bit from Ren with the famous question that he loves to ask in his spot. But here's Sandy right now.
Author Sandy Lender invites you to visit her website at authorSandyLender.com to pick out a new favorite story to read this spring. You're sure to find a strong young lady, a clever vampire, a self-assured fairy, or a fabulous dragon to join on a new journey. Start your next adventure at AuthorSandyLender.com and make some new quest friends. Welcome to Sandy's various fantasy worlds, where some days you just want the dragon to win.
Thank you, Sandy Lender. And we hope you're doing well down in Florida. Yeah, we got a nice picture from her today of one of her parents decided to raid her breakfast and got a nice extra meal today. So we got a picture of the bird caught red-handed eating out of Sandy's cereal bowl. So there you go. Great shot. I hope Sandy should share that on her social media. It's a funny picture. But now we'll go over to Ren and the famous question.
The League of Elder dares to be unusual. It's easy to be swept away in this bold and uninhibited landscape where fantastic heroes become old friends and sinister villains inhabit every dark corner. Dare to explore things best left alone. Each book is your lantern, lighting the path to a world never before seen. So what do you say? Are you weird enough for us?
Yes, Ren, most certainly. And you better be coming to Imaginarium this year, Ren. That's all I got to say. If you're listening, yes. I know you do catch these shows.
For you, so. You better be there, Ren.
Yes, we're weird enough for you, then you can come and hang with us this summer, and so we can celebrate you in person. But yeah, we want to cut about a minute over our normal call-in moment, so I'm going to go right into tonight's guest, and I am excited because this guest tonight is a personal favorite of both Holly and myself, and definitely someone that we love to have on both the Star Chamber show and also at Imaginarium, where she is a spotlighted guest, and she is an artist, a cosplayer, and a graphic designer. She's also known as Captain Medea Asherah, which translates to She Who Walks Above the Sea. And she's been the captain of the Airship Caduceus, a great steampunk cosplay group since 2016. As if that's not enough, she has designed all kinds of logos and designs for all kinds of projects, such as the Kentucky Steampunk Society, the Chicago Steampunk Exposition, the Traveling Revelers, and her own airship. And as if that's not enough, she just decided to take charge of a awesome event out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the International Steampunk Symposium, a great convention that's themed on the steampunk genre in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's coming up in June of this year. And, of course, now you know who we're talking about. The one, the only, the amazing Jennifer Noran. Jennifer, you are on the show. Welcome.
Captain, thank you so much. Captain. Can you, Captain, my captain, can you all hear me okay?
Yes,
we can.
Yes, we sure can.
Wonderful, wonderful. Technology is an amazing thing, isn't it?
Yes, when it works. Yeah, when we have transformers blowing up and tornadoes and things like that, sometimes it gets a little dicey. But tonight, it's calm out there, so knock on wood. You know, we shouldn't have anything crazy. And since you're actually not too far from us, yeah, so the weather should be okay. People don't realize how close we actually live, and we've actually never been to your house. You've been to ours, but we've never even trucked over.
No, we need to change that for sure.
I know. Right. We all get so busy, and we just, we're only 3 streets away from each other.
Pretty much. Yeah, we will need to change that. Well, we just tried to do sushi last time, so we'll have to change it up for sure.
That is a thing, though, with creatives around here, because I was even remarking to Virginia at the conference this past weekend, but I was like, we need to make time to visit outside of events and things that, that we're doing and stuff like that, just to hang out. I mean, it's definitely, well, we're all so busy, and Jennifer, you made the crazy move, and we warned you. It's exciting. You took on a convention. So, welcome to the madness. What we speak now.
I mean, for sure. I must say that I have a much greater respect for convention owners now. I knew that it took a lot to run a convention, but it actually is like a big child. Like, it is amazing.
It's madness.
It is. It's an adventure. I like madness. I use adventure loosely. I think madness probably is a little better.
But took the helm.
It's a labor of love.
Yeah, absolutely. And you took the helm of an event that you personally had attended and liked a lot, and was at the heart of your passions. Reflects cosplay, reflects steampunk, and everything ties beautifully with the airship that you are the captain of. And but tell us a little bit. Coming up in June, and it's looking like it's going to be a really cool year. So give us the scoop on this year's event.
Well, I am so excited about it. Well, you guys have heard because we talked before at dinner, but the International Steampunk Symposium means so much to me because that was my first foray into steampunk. In 2015, one of my girlfriends said, there's this thing called steampunk, and there's a convention called the International Steampunk Symposium up in Cincinnati. Do you want to go? I was like, hey, sure, why not? So I Googled steampunk. I came up with a costume. We went up for the day, and I fell in love. I walked in. I felt automatically welcomed, and year we stayed the whole weekend, and then the next year I got an airship because they had the Olympiad there, which is a series of games, which is ever so much fun. And so it grew from there. And so last year, when the previous owner Jason announced that this was going to be the last year, I was devastated. And so my friend Michael, I was talking to him about it, and he said, well, why don't we see if we can run it? And I thought, why not? I mean, honestly, if I didn't try, I would have regretted it, 100%, because it is so dear to me and so dear to many of my friends who have made so many wonderful connections there. So that's the whole background. And thankfully, doing graphic design and doing some copy, I can do a lot of the things myself. But then also that's rough because I can do a lot of things myself. But we were trying to come up with a theme, and because it is my first time running a full weekend convention, I was like, it's kind of like a circus. And then I thought, circus theme. So we're doing steampunk under the big top is the theme. And the tagline is, it's your circus and your monkeys, because it is. It has been a total circus, but it's been a fun circus. It has been just a whirlwind. I've met so many amazing people that have stepped forward and offered to help and been saying, well, been suggesting things and coming forward and offering to be a part of the event. And it's just been amazing, just absolutely amazing.
Well, yes, and tell us the dates and then also the basic structure of it. I mean, as far as like the general activities, panels, contests, or things of that nature. But give us an overview of that, because some people listening tonight are hearing about it for the first time.
Okay, well, you can get a lot of the details at steampunksymposium.com, but my event goes from June 16th through 18th, so that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But for people that come on early on Thursday, we are planning a meet and greet, and we are hoping to do it at Jungle Gyms. If not, we'll figure out another venue because I love Jungle Gyms. So we're still working on that. So it officially starts Friday at 4, which is our tea stroll, and people can contact Sam Birkenkamp of Teology if they want to host a table. And basically you walk around, you eat food, you drink tea, and you meet all the people that you're going to be spending the weekend with. So it starts out with the meet and greet, and then we have opening ceremonies, and then We are having performances by Freak Show Deluxe, who will be there all weekend performing all sorts of wonderful different things. And we've got Dikari Triberay, which are going to be doing belly dancing. So we've got magicians. We're going to have people just walking around all weekend. We're trying to create a circus theme. So we're having all sorts of different events as far as like circus type stuff, but we are also having some wonderful classes on like steampunk on a budget. We have some makers classes. Colleen Kilduff of Design by Night Accessories is having not only a hat making class, she is doing an oddities class and a masquerade mask class, because our big dance on Saturday night is going to be a Gothic masquerade. So that will be fun. I know. I'm so excited about it. We have 2 DJs that are going to be there, and it's I know as a convention owner that I'm pretty much going to be I'm calling it Steampunk Light, because I'm going to be running around running a convention. But I do have costumes planned for opening and closing ceremonies and the masquerade, because Gothic masquerade, like, how can I not? It's going to be, I mean, honestly, one of the best things about steampunk is the costuming. I mean, honestly, who doesn't like to see men in suits and women in beautiful corsets and bustles and just the pageantry of the costuming? I mean, oh my word. I love a man in a suit, and boy, you want to see a man in a suit, go to a steampunk convention.
Nice.
Yes, the top hats, the tails, the whole spiel. I love the top hats and the mustaches. The mustaches are great. You know what? We always get ideas on the show. One, like next year, I know it's too soon, you can't do it right now, but next year you should do a mustache length contest. Like, whoever can pull it out and has the longest mustache wins.
Actually, I will add that to the Olympiad. The Steampunk Olympiad is one of the big features of our event, and the first one of the first competitions is Friday night, and it is the beard and mustache competition. And unlike previous years and what's really exciting is originally you would pay to do the Olympiad, and the money would go to NAMI, who we are sponsoring. And the NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. But we've got a couple other events that we're going to use to them. So the games for the Olympiad are all free. People just have to sign up in advance. And the reason we made them free is because for each game we have a sponsor and someone that's providing the awards and someone that's hosting. So for the beard and mustache competition, Dr. Mike's Shaving Emporium is going to be there. So they're going to have a booth in our vendor hall all week. We've got, oh my gosh, we have over 50 different vendor tables at this event. And another thing about steampunk is the swag, right? So Dr. Mike is there, and if you have any kind of facial hair, or even for women, that they have something for everybody. And so I'm so excited, because the awards for that event will be provided by Dr. Mike. And I also included, we've got the real facial hair, but then for people that want to participate and don't have facial hair, we have a category for faux facial hair. So I'm excited to see what people come up with that as far as so I know some ladies are like, well, man, and I have the Italian mustache going on, but nothing grand. So if I wanted to do something, I'd have to create a fake mustache. So, the Olympiad is definitely a huge part of the symposium, and that's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, we know Dr. Mike. Yeah, we had met him when I was a guest of honor down at Hypericon one year, and we were right across from him in the dealer hall. And his stuff is great. I'd gotten a couple of bottles of his stuff. Yeah, you still have some beard oil. Yeah. Yeah, Holly, and he really, they talked. They kept in touch. I think since then. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, he's very active really cool. too. I mean, if you on his page on Facebook, he does live shaves every Tuesday and Thursday. And he's always talking about new products and where he's adventuring to. So. Yeah, that's really cool. So I like that the Olympiad's going to be free this year. And what's even cooler is Madame Askew and the Grand Arbiter are coming from out west, and I met them at TeslaCon a couple of years ago, and they are two of the most amazing people I have ever met. Like, the joy and the fun that they bring to events is incomparable. I mean, I adore them. So they're going to be doing a lot of the Olympiad. And then one of the new things that we're introducing this year is compliment dueling. And I have all the rules for the Olympiad are on steampunksymposium.com, but I have never actually even seen a compliment duel. But how fun does that sound?
A compliment duel. I've never heard of that.
Compliment each other.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, that's the basis, but there's more rules involved, like just depending on the rules that are given at specific things. Like, you can't say a specific word, or you can't repeat the same compliment or something. But I just love the positivity of something like that, and so I'm very excited to have that introduced this year at our event.
So how does that work? Does somebody gives them such a good compliment that the other person passes out and is out for like a 10 count, like in boxing?
You kill them with kindness, Steve. Kill them with kindness.
Right. It sounds cool, though. I like that. That is fun.
We played D&D. What was that? About a month ago, when Beck was here, when the grandkids were here.
Yeah, did the
their
D&D
mom,
game.
And her character actually killed a mimic by complimenting him to death.
Yeah. It was a unique power or whatever.
It was an outhouse mimic. An outhouse
a mimic. It was an outhouse.
Killed him with kindness. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a cosplay idea right there. Yeah, come as a mimic outhouse. Oh, that'd be too funny. But yeah, one of the folks in the chat room, Jennifer, I don't know if you caught it, me talking about that. He was one of our award winners last year at Imaginarium, but you're actually going to be closer to him because he lives in Ohio. So yeah, so hopefully he's listening good tonight on this, because he's a very active cosplayer too, in addition to being a fantastic writer, a really good writer. But on the writer topic, yes, you have. I mentioned, I know to me though, but you are open to writers in the steampunk genre and their stuff. So do you have any that you are highlighting in particular this year, any that are exhibiting that you would like to highlight, or as far as the writers of steampunk?
Well, we've got our resident. Carolina coming, and I'm trying to get her information up. I had written down a bunch of notes, and the Tropical Eccentric, Carolina Cardona, and she wrote an amazing book, and I'm trying to find it, but she will be coming, and Renee Heber will be coming, and she is a staple, and she is an amazing author, and she will be there. Renee Heber, and she is, so many people know about her, but she's an award-winning Gothic, gas lamp, fantasy author, actress, playwright, guide. So she's always done presentations, and she will have a table there all weekend. So that will be wonderful. And we'll actually have both the authors together. So I'm pretty excited about that too, especially having Carolina there. So, and I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong. It's Carolina's book is Andujar, The Robot Gentleman. It's Andujar, but I'm thinking the J is an H. I actually have a copy of the book by my bedside to read before the convention. But yeah, so I love that it's very well rounded. So we have all sorts of crafts ranging from writers to leather workers and like As They Sew in France are coming, and they do clothing. One of the things I like about them is they do clothing from tiny sizes up to I think like 6 or 8X. Like they cater to any body size, which totally makes me super happy as a plus size person trying to find clothing and having had to learn to sew to make my own clothing. So finding
it's hard.
Vendor that makes clothes for plus size women and makes, Cat Peeler that runs As They Sew in France. When I've seen him, he is just a delightful man, and he makes you feel beautiful no matter what. He will find something for you to fit into that, I can't say enough about some of our wonderful vendors and just the positivity and joy they bring to a lot of the people that come.
because browsing a vendor that has the steampunk style costuming is that's cool. That's just an experience. Yeah, because they usually have some amazing stuff on display, and I know Holly gets the nuances better than I do, but I still love checking it out. Yeah, Holly.
There's so much.
Yeah. Oh, I know it is. Yeah, Holly's got her mind running already as far as cosplay ideas.
Yeah,
because Holly loves this
I
period.
I said we haven't got it announced on the website yet, but I've said on here a few times that we're going to do the Roaring 20s at Imaginarium on Saturday night for our ball.
I'm glad you said
the
something.
Roaring 20s.
All the planning. Ooh.
What? Don't that sound fun? No? Oh my God! I think it'd be so neat. And I've got to get my costume together. I've got to get it together. I just got to make the time and do some thrift shopping and get her done. But yeah.
Oh, I hear.
I
hear that. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were discussing costuming and how that's like the big thing, right? And as a con owner trying to put together a whole convention, I'm like, well, I should probably be wearing something. And so I definitely trying to put something together. Well, I figure I will be in Steampunk Light, but I do want to have something for opening and closing ceremonies and definitely for the masquerade. So, but my priority is the convention. So while I will have something on my person, I did, Colleen Kilduff made my headpiece for opening ceremonies, and I have pieced out stuff that I would usually make just because I'm like, I am focusing on the convention. My goal is to make this the most amazing convention ever, that people are going to come in and just forget about everything but enjoying themselves for just a couple of days. I mean, the world's been just absolute chaos. I mean, it always is, but just lately it just seems there's so much tension and stress, and so just to get away for the weekend and just have some fun and be with friends and not have to worry about worry about food. I mean, we've got McKenna's, and they've got specialty foods. Oh, we've got our high tea. And what's really cool is in the past, there's only been one tea in the afternoon. We've had such a positive feedback from the review that we're now having two high teas, one at 1 o'clock and one at 3 o'clock. And the tickets are $35. And the chef at the hotel, we got to get a sneak peek, and she makes her scones from scratch. And there is a gentleman that works at the hotel that has a goat farm, and they use the goat milk, and they make their own clotted cream. So a lot of the items are made, and they are just amazing. So if anybody's listening and they do buy the tea tickets, come hungry. Because you think tea, a couple cookies and maybe some fruit or whatever. No, this is a delightful array of different confections and foods, and just, oh my word, I am super excited about it. So
that's what I learned when I was.
It's definitely going to be worth it.
When I went to England back in 2010, and one of the last trips I took with my mother, but it was eye-opening because I used to think, they might have just a couple things at tea, and then like you said, you find out that it's an experience, and there's a lot to it, and it is wonderful. So definitely take advantage of that, folks. And I know Holly's all about high tea. That's right up her alley.
Definitely. So. Our tickets have been selling really well. We might have some left, but I don't know. So if people want their tickets, I would suggest going ahead and getting your tickets.
What a fantastic segue, Jennifer. Well done. How do people get tickets, and how much are they, and for registering?
Oh, well, that's easy. All you have to do, again, is go to steampunksymposium.com, where our website, I'm so pleased with it, but you can scroll, like right on the front page, it says buy tickets now. And when you go, it'll tell you we've got 43 days until the event. We've got our weekend pass for adults is $70, and then we've got day passes. And what's super exciting, because since it's Father's Day weekend, Sunday is Father's Day. Children under 18 get in free with a paying adult. So it doesn't matter if it's a father, a mother, whatever, as long as you come in with a paying adult, children under 18 get in free, which makes me super happy. That, I mean, how fun is it to be like, oh, what did you do for Father's Day? You know, usually, oh, my kids gave me a tie and we went to, you know, got dinner, blah. Well, how fun would it be? We went to a steampunk event. It was circus themed. It was so much fun. I mean, if that was me, I'd be all over it. I mean, my dad's going to be there. He did some of the artwork for the symposium, which is very exciting. But my dad, I don't care how old you are, I'm so excited. I'm 50, and I'm like, my pop's coming on
that's
Father's
awesome.
Day. So that's pretty exciting. So I love that we decided to do that we could get kids in free.
That's fantastic.
On Sunday I'm very excited about that. And that kind of segues into, we've got for our hotel, our host hotel, which is the Holiday Inn Eastgate, we have discounted rooms. We've got a block, but so you need to book the rooms before May 24th to get the discounted price. And you can still get rooms after that, but it will not be the discount. So I would encourage people, if you want to get your rooms, go ahead and get them before May 24th, because I know people procrastinate. Like we said, we're all busy, but you need to get your rooms so we can I'm all about saving a couple bucks. So, like, get your rooms now so you can save a couple dollars.
And your experience is much better when you stay on site, period. I mean, not when you don't have to worry about leaving to go to another hotel at the end of the night and you can just walk back to your room and crash. I mean, that is the thing to do for sure. So if you're listening, folks, it's worth, even if it's a couple bucks more, you know, you find like some super discount hotel that's a couple exits away, don't do it. Spend the extra money to stay on site, because it is just 10 times better. And then you're with, the same folks that our site's at. And I can tell you these Holiday Inn locations where conventions are held are nice, and they know how to run them well. I mean, I've been extremely happy up in Louisville. So, and I know that you got a
100%.
very, very good venue there. So, I mean, that's
it's
worth the
driving
money,
in a corset.
folks. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And the benefit, I mean, people are like, well, you live in Lexington, why are you having the event in Cincinnati? Well, one, because that was my first experience, was that hotel, and I really like it. But also, right next door is O'Charlie's if you want food. Right across the street is Kroger's. There's a Joann's, because no matter what you do, you're always going to end up eating super glue or bobby pins or something. There's a Dollar Tree right across the street. There's Chinese food. And less than about 2 miles away, there's Jungle Jim's International Market, which we always make a pilgrimage when we go to Symposium. That's kind of a thing. You go to Jungle Jim's. And so, I mean, there is pretty much anything you can want right around that hotel, which is lovely. I mean, you don't want to spend money to eat out, go to Kroger's, get something there. I mean, and again, I always think I have everything, and last time I went, I needed super glue, Dollar Tree super glue. Ta-da! So it's just, it's a wonderful venue. It's a wonderful location. It's centralized. There's so many things like right around the area.
Yeah, that is a very important consideration. That's one that factored into our decision, you know, because there's, you know, what people can have access to around it, because there always are things that you need, and that is awesome. But I mean, Jungle Gems is one of a kind of place. So that's that's an event in itself. Going there, I mean, that is.
If you haven't been,
what a
people,
cool place.
make a pilgrimage, because it's not just a grocery store. You would not believe what all you can buy there. If you want to buy and eat a rattlesnake, you can get it there. If you want kangaroo, you can get it there. You know, I mean, they've got a whole section that's nothing but a hot sausage, which is like the holy grail for me. It's like I walk into heaven, I'm like, I hear the angels sing.
I remember going into their beef stick jerky selection and seeing, you know, just going on the list. Oh, wild boar. Oh, this. Oh, that. You know, it's like, oh my God, they got that. I was like, it's just crazy.
We have never went together on a pilgrimage. We need to go
yet. Not yet. We need to. We definitely need to.
We never went together. No.
The only thing I have to say is that Jennifer has a circus theme, though, and there are clowns that happen to be there. We have to make sure Holly's warned where the clowns are.
I'm a cute clown, so I mean, I'm hoping there's some cute clowns. I have my stepdad's vintage clown costume, which made me feel really happy. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing. You go to a circus, there's probably going to be a clown or two. So
because I always like to joke that Holly's reaction if a clown like ambushed her, like jumped out of something at her, it would be like Medea in the movie Boo. If you saw those movies, and it's hilarious, but it doesn't work out well for the clown. But it is funny.
Yeah.
The Wrath of Holly. I would not want to see that because he is a warrior. Yeah. So I can't imagine that. Like that sounds terrifying.
But I joke, I jest here. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, it wouldn't be that type of clown. But oh man, that sounds cool. That does sound cool.
Oh, it's fun.
Just a fun, positive weekend, and it's right in your wheelhouse. And yeah, I'm glad you got the reins of a convention that fits your passion, because I can tell you that's what helps me get through ours is the fact that it's tied to my passions, for literature and storytelling, and if you don't have the passion for what you're working on, it can get to be as we said, madness. So that does help.
Well, your convention reminds me of mine, because when I've gone to yours, I mean, wow, I have learned so much. The people that I've met at your event and the friends I've made, and being on the panels and the cool people on the panels and your events. I mean, I feel like you're a sister event to my event just because you have so much good energy, education. You have a good mix of things. You've got your parties, you've got your classes, you've got your cool tables, you've got neat stuff, you've got amazing guests. I've always enjoyed coming to your event.
Yep, amazing guests like you. Yes, absolutely. But that's why we wanted to spotlight you as one of our affiliate page, and those are of course events and organizations that we definitely vouch for and speak highly of and encourage people to support. And last weekend's Conference of Writers, they're on there, and last week's guest, Million, who both of us know and love, and she Two Crows is on there, and of course you are on there with the International Steampunk Symposium. But I encourage people to follow the path up to Cincinnati in June, because this is going to be a great event, especially with, as Holly says, Captain, my captain at the helm.
Right.
Hopefully we'll hear some of that going on. I love that's kind of a thing now that we have to do, for sure. And we've also got, I forgot, Sarah Comrade of Calamity Labs, who is super amazing. On Friday night, we are hosting Tipsy D&D, which I think is going to be super fun. We have our Baker Suite where we have our classes that involve alcohol. And so what we are doing this year is it seems like most of the classes get really packed and sweaty and gross. And if you're in a three-piece suit or a corset, ugh. So we're going to have a certain amount of people allowed in the room, and then we're going to be doing a Facebook Live event so that people can still experience the event and not have to be all crammed into a room trying to enjoy themselves. So I'm very excited to try that this year and see how well it works. Plus, I've got some friends that I love that are dealing with some illnesses and cannot come, and so we are definitely having a couple Facebook Live events so they can experience some of the stuff, because it's not about making money. It is about creating joy. And granted, like, it would be nice to make money, but that's not the reason I did this. I did this because I love it. And so if I can bring joy to people, like one of my friends, Brooke, then she and her husband are awesome, and they've been struggling with cancer, and she says she likes following my posts and like things. So I want to bring this to her and her husband at their house so they can enjoy it. So it is a labor of love. This is my joy, and I want to share it with everybody else. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I can understand everything you're talking. I can relate to it. So, yeah, that all makes sense to me. But no, yeah, Holly would be raring to go as far as getting in a cool costume and strutting about the convention. So we have to see what she comes up with.
She's got that strut.
Yeah, you can hear her. Yeah, you can definitely hear her.
I can see it in my head. I see her strutting in my head. She can rock it for sure.
No joke. Last weekend, Virginia called upon Holly to get everybody's attention in the main conference room when she had to get everybody was talking in this big hall room, and Holly helped get everybody quiet and attentive. So we called upon her powers once last weekend, but yeah, you don't need a PA system. Yeah, you don't need a PA system for Holly. That's for sure.
We have that in common.
Yeah.
I was like, I got this. Boy, it got quiet real quick, too.
Oh, no.
It was like, oh, my God, what's that big woman? What?
Well,
that's good.
Well, but like always, everybody is wanting to meet and talk to Holly. She was definitely had a fun time with everybody. But before we go on to any other topics, I wanted to give you a chance to highlight any other special guests that you might have, whether they're artists or other types of folks, or other major cosplayers. And, just if you wanted to spotlight a few folks that are going to be there to give some folks an idea of who they're going to meet, please do so.
Okay, well, like I said, man, Mesquite and the Grand Arbiter. My friend Brett, who is a amazing cosplayer, he has having some eye issues, so he might or might not come. So that's kind of a bummer. Don Dodson, who does leather work, I just signed him today, and he's going to be teaching some leather classes and some makers classes, which is very exciting. We've got Steampunk Xena, who is amazing, and she does fire dancing. So she's going to do fire dancing in the parking lot of the Holiday Inn one night in circus garb and one night as Xena, Warrior Princess, Steampunk Xena. So I'm very, very excited about that. There's so many people coming that I'm very excited about. We've got Stephen Kerhut and Brandon Myers. They're going to be doing some makers classes, and there's just so many exciting things to learn. And I've been posting it. I've been trying to post on the Facebook page, the International Steampunk page, all the exciting things. So I've been doing a countdown. I've been remiss. We tried to be overly ambitious. I'm going to do a 100-day countdown. And I'm like, girl, you're trying to put on a convention. You can't do a graphic for us. 100 graphics. You're nuts. So I've been trying to post stuff up as it comes and letting people know about the wonderful guests. But over 50 vendors coming and amazing guests. I'm just beyond excited. So.
No, it sounds like a spectrum of talent for sure. That sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and Asgard and Lady Wheelworth are coming too, and they're super. I will not go on because I could go and go and go, because the amount of wonderful people that are coming just fills me full of such joy. We have got such a diverse and lovely group of people coming. Not even including the wonderful guests that, people have come up to me I don't even know and say, you're running symposium. We're so excited about coming. And you know how humble, I feel so humble. I'm like, well, heck, I want to put on such an amazing show. Strangers are coming up to me and they're excited. So I'm like, we're gonna put on a humdinger of an event, and I want people to leave happy and excited and just refreshed. That is my goal.
Absolutely. Well, Holly, before we move on, is there anything you wanted to ask to Jennifer about the symposium before we move on to some other topics? Or you think we've got it?
I got a question. Is Jen, what or how would a person that's just getting into steampunk, like someone who's just getting interested, haven't read anything about it, don't know anything about it, haven't seen the movies, what's your suggestion? Like, give me a book, a movie, and where they could whip together a outfit that would be, within a budget that would be cost effective for them to just start.
That's a great question. Well, like I said, when my friend invited me to go to Symposium for the first time, I simply Googled steampunk, and that in itself is amazing. So Googling for sure. My airship, the Airship Caduceus, you don't have to join the page to go on it, and we have a file section where I've actually had the Airship Passport 2 let me post their how to build your own steampunk persona, and that file is on the Airship Caduceus Facebook page. Also, one of the nice things about having so many amazing vendors is you do not have to dress up to come to this event. And if you're just starting out, we have a couple classes on building a steampunk persona, steampunk on a budget, so you can learn how to make a costume on a budget. But if you really want, you can go into that vendor hall and you can get a full costume if you want and leave fully decked out in steampunk. I mean, and what I like to do is I like to buy pieces at a time and build up my stuff, my collection. But there are so many options. I mean, definitely the vendor hall. And if you don't want to go and get a full costume, you can walk around the vendor hall, talk to the vendors, and see all the amazing things they have for sale. But those are my main things. Check out the Airship Caduceus page, and just even Google steampunk, Google locals. There's the Kentucky Steampunk Society, the Ohio Steampunk Society, and there's so many people that are more than willing to share about how to do costuming for steampunk.
So that answer your question, Holly?
Was that helpful?
It does.
A little bit.
That was helpful.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, I think that'll help people. Just Google it, people. Just Google it. What is, like, I do want to know, though, what is your favorite, like, book that you've ever read about steampunk, if you could think of any?
Or movies.
You know, because I'm sure
movies.
there's many.
Yeah.
And then, like a movie, like a favorite movie of yours that involves steampunk.
Well, I do the movie. Well, I started out reading the graphic novel, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but I love the movie. I think like some of the cars and the costuming is very steampunk to me. The original Wild Wild West show was that to me was, it's like steampunk light, and then they did the movie with Will Smith, which is very steampunk. When I've been trying to come up with ideas for the event, I've been looking Carnival Row as far as a series.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's the other one? There's a couple that, Carnival. I watched that. That's not necessarily steampunk, but it has elements of steampunk. There's so many things you can kind of find elements of steampunk in. As far as reading, it's mostly been books. Well, Emily Bush, who's our mistress of ceremonies, she did the cutest little book. It's called Steam Duck, and there's a little series of children's books about Steam Duck, and I love that. So if I had to pick a book, I know it's a kid's book, but Steam Duck, I met Emily the very first steampunk event I went to, and I got her book, and I was tickled pink, and it's darling. And you can look her up online and look at her books, but they're so cute. But yeah, I would say that those, off the top of my head, those are my favorite things as far as going to get ideas about steampunk or seeing steampunk.
Yeah, there is a series that Holly and I have been watching. I loved the lead actor, one of the lead actors in it, Ben Barnes, who was Prince Caspian in the Chronicles of Narnia movies. But it's called Shadow and Bone, and it definitely has, some real fantastical steampunk elements. It's not maybe a pure steampunk series, but it definitely has them.
Steampunk
It's kind of a fantasy / steampunk, but it's got airships, and it's got a kind of a more or less in the later 1800s kind of vibe in terms of the clothing, the cities, all that. It doesn't take place on Earth. It's a really interesting story where this rift appears with some monstrous things within it, and it's big dark cloud to the tall as the sky kind of rift that separates this country in half basically, and it's a really good story, and but it has a lot of steampunk trappings and elements, and I would almost go as far to say that I'd classify it in the genre. But it definitely has fantastical elements, but it definitely should fit. It would fit in the genre.
It's what drew me in. Put it that way. It's what drew me in to watch it. I'm like, Steve, we got to watch this. It's got some steampunky. We got to watch this. Yeah.
Yeah. And we watch Carnival
Jim
Row.
Butcher's another one. If you ever read Jim Butcher, I have a copy of the Aeronauts Windlass that my friend lent me, and I keep having to go back because I've been busy. My bedside table turned into a bookcase because I keep
nice.
Go to Phillippe.
Yeah, we know that goes.
Another one. Yes, well, yeah, that's kind of your thing. So I could tell. So there's tons down in my studio. I have tons and tons of makers books, and there's like the Steampunk Bible, the Steampunk User's Manual. There's all sorts of really cool resources for steampunk. I mean, you can go to the library and there's a bunch of steampunk books on how to create costumes, and there's even downloadable patterns. I have on Etsy. I have a downloadable pattern for a fabric tea holster, which is very cool. So, I mean, there really are so many amazing resources for steampunkers.
Yeah, because I love the genre. I was talking about my own experience, but I got challenged by editor Kimberly Richardson back about 2010 or so, and she, time I'd only written an epic fantasy and cross-genre fiction, and she challenged me to write a steampunk story. Never had done it. Never had been, immersed in, and I ended up, writing 3 steampunk stories that are themed and called my Harvey and Solomon stories, but they were well received to the point that one of the anthologies it was the lead story, and that's a kind of a spot of honor in an anthology to be the lead story. So that was a great experience and one that I plan to continue when I can get a little handle on all the series as I have, because I got to write installments in several, but once I kind of clear the deck a little bit, I will be revisiting some of that. But I loved writing in it. It was a great experience and kind of doing a deep dive. So I love the genre. It's definitely, if you haven't played with it, experienced it, investigated it, definitely, if you're a newbie, come on out to the symposium and learn about it, because it is a magical kind of genre. I mean, it does have its own feel and takes you into another whole time space kind of thing. It's awesome.
For sure.
I love it.
For sure.
Yeah.
And there's different kinds of steampunk. You have diesel punk, cyberpunk, clock punk, ray punk.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of, they're all encompassed and they're all different, but they just, it's just so much fun to play around. It really is.
Yep. They all have the same roots.
And it gets into
Dave
John
Matthews
Pike's
brought
wheelhouse.
For sure.
Dave brought up a good movie, and that was Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. That was a good one.
Yes.
Oh, it's definitely another one.
Yeah, there's so many.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, John Pica loves that one as well, but I know another one that John liked that he talks about in a workshop that he'd done that I actually was able to attend one time a few years ago, and that was the Iron Giant. He talked about it, he loved the Iron Giant.
Iron Giant is good. Sherlock Holmes, too, the newer ones I would kind of categorize as kind of steampunk.
Yeah.
Oh, Golden Compass. I really like that one. I was thinking about that. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that one, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
Yeah, there's a fair amount out there. And, you can even argue, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea kind of where some of the roots are. And so go back to some of the classic literature. So, it's a great genre, and it's got and it falls right in Holly's area, because Holly is all about anything that's Victorian age. So that syncs up beautifully. It fits Holly.
Yeah, if it's
Holly's
Victorian,
aesthetic.
I'll watch it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Or if it's about Queen Victoria, I'll watch it. Even though I know just about anything weird you could possibly know about her, I'll still watch it just to hear it again. But, Yeah,
but definitely, the aesthetics of the Victorian age fit like beautifully with steampunk. I mean, they definitely have a lot of overlap.
Hand in hand.
Yeah, that's a good one. But I can't wait, and I think you're going to have a wonderful, very successful weekend. And yes, don't plan anything for the few days afterwards. Yeah, don't try to go back to any other kind of work. Just telling you, clear the deck and just take a break, because
I have been told this. I will be going back to work, I think, on Tuesday, because I'm taking the week off before, because I was told take off the week before, didn't get stuff set up, so I really can't take off. So Tuesday at work, I will probably be a slug, but at least I have Monday off.
Yeah, the week after.
That whole next week.
Yeah,
People
the whole
know,
week
don't
after.
call me
Yeah.
unless you're dying, because I'm not
we
answering.
just can't.
And I have to decompress. Half time I'm in bed because my fibro will act up, and I get home and I feel so bad, and so I'm like in bed for a week. But last year I did pretty good. I come home with COVID though, but you know.
Yeah, we caught a little bit of that, but it was a really every year, it feels like a truck ran over you at the end of running one. So
it does.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely try to try not to have too much on your plate. Yeah, don't have too much on your plate, and or try to do too much too soon afterwards. Give yourself some space, because it's you need to recover. It's a lot.
And if you need help, unloading the car or whatever, help unloading the car and stuff, just give us a holler, and we can buzz over and help you.
Yeah, we can zip over and help you with that. It was for a few blocks from you.
Yeah.
So, that's not a problem.
I love it. Thank you. Oh, that makes me happy. Feed me.
Yeah, we can do that.
Feed you too. I can feed you.
We'll go get sushi.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we should plan that. Go get food.
Or Holly can give you one of her
or something.
Holly could whip up one of her gourmet meals. She puts on chef caliber dinners. So I'm not exaggerating. It's something else.
We had one tonight. I made a fancy one tonight.
Yeah, we had a good one tonight.
I would not say no to that. I've heard about your amazing cooking, and I've yet to experience it. So that's
something else.
Teasing.
It's awesome.
Tonight what did I make tonight, Steve? I made an artichoke spinach cream sauce
like a pasta
over
dish.
rigatoni.
Yeah, it was a really good pasta dish.
Oh my God,
delightful. Yeah, it was. But so yes, we'll put together one of those kind of nights for you on your week afterward. Try to help you recover.
I will not say no to that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having me on your show. I do want to say that we are going to be at Findlay Market on May 21st, and we're going to. I've never been to Findlay Market. One of my friends works there, so she was kind enough to get us a booth. So we're going to be running around Findlay Market from 10 to 4 on May 21st, and then at 2 p.m. we're going to do a steampunk stroll and tootle around Findlay Market. I'm pretty excited because I've never been there, and I heard it's great. So if anybody wants to come and wants more information or anything and wants a day to tootle around, Sunday, May 21st from 10 to 4, we'll be up in Cincinnati at Findlay Market. I'm pretty stoked about that.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. And do you have, as far as I'm kind of want to segue a little bit into the Airship Caduceus, but what is your calendar going to be like? I know you're going to need a little downtime after the symposium, but what does your year look like with the airship, and what kind of events do you have going on coming up here?
Well, it's kind of, you know how it goes before a convention. This weekend's Derby, but of course I've pretty much had a meeting every night. It's interesting. Next weekend we are doing crafting at my house, and we're making medals for fairway prizes, which I'm very excited about that. The weekend after, the Orcs are having the Orcs Bash in Louisville, so they were kind enough to give me a table there, so I will get to attend my first Orcs Bash. And then the weekend after that is Marcon in Columbus, so I'm going to do that. And then the weekend after that is Cogs and Corsets, which I have never been to Cogs and Corsets, and I'm very excited about going to that. And I get to, and what's cool about Cogs and Corsets is it's free. You just have to get your hotel room and stuff. And they do have some paid. It's in Bloomington, Illinois. They do have some paid events, like they have contra dancing and they have concerts and stuff. So that, and then the weekend after that, I'm doing nothing because I will be getting ready for my own event. But as far as after that, I really want to get more involved back into my ship, because we were doing monthly events and I just haven't had time to do that. So I'm hoping to plan some more events with my ship, and then get to do some costuming for TeslaCon in November, because they are doing an Egyptian theme, and I love Egyptian stuff. So I'm very excited. The Curse of Anubis So yeah, I already have my whole bedroom was originally themed in Egyptian stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I just need to steampunk it up. I'm ready to go. So I've already got my ticket. I got VIP tickets because Eric Larson, who runs it, has come up with some really killer swag for VIP folks. So I bought my VIP ticket. I'm like, I'm ready for cool swags. So, yeah, there's still little events planned up, but yeah, I wanted to take it easy a little bit because it has been go, but I do have some fun little, want to get back into my ship work and do some fun events with my airship and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm just trying to get through June, and then when I get through June, then we'll be like, oh, I'm going to do this now.
Well, you'll have one airship stop in July, but Marcon, I am glad you mentioned that because that's one that I definitely can speak for too. I haven't been there in a few years, but that's a wonderful event, the one in Columbus, and real nice convention.
I've not been at all.
Yeah, I always had a good experience.
My other steampunk friends suggested it. Well, good.
It's just doing a convention myself kind of precluded me having a loaded schedule in the couple of months leading up to like Imaginarium and so forth. So that's why I haven't been able to be on track for a few things. But it's a really nice event, and I always had a good experience there for sure. So you'll have a good time. Yeah, definitely. Right crowd.
I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the right crowd for sure. But yeah, it sounds like your weekends are pretty full. Coming up here.
Yeah, so, I have no free weekends, like except for the weekend before Symposium, which will be getting ready for Symposium. So yeah, I'm pretty booked. It's kind of funny. People are like, "How do you have the energy?" I'm like, I just do. Like it's just stuff needs to get done. You do it, and I am the captain. I have earned my stripes. That's why I'm the captain. I get stuff done.
Right. Exactly.
There you go.
Yep. It just simply has to get done, and unfortunately, there isn't anybody else to do it, so I know that feeling. So yeah,
well, if you want it done right, do it yourself. For a certain thing.
No, that's
for certain things yourself and oversee it.
True. I will say that I'm blessed because some of the staff has stayed on from Jason from Symposium, and they have been just invaluable with helping me as far as scheduling. And this is what we did before because again, this is 100% new. So it is wonderful to have some of the staff, and they've been super, like Jess, who works at Findlay Market and is managing, she works at our registration, and she has been invaluable at helping with stuff, and Dash, who runs Con Ops, and Lee, who does, we're working on Programming Fridays. It's just, there's so many people that have been integral in helping me to make this convention amazing. So I am so grateful to all the folks that have stepped in and just said, how can we help? Because that means so much to me, and a lot of gratitude for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, the
so
staff
how can folks
and volunteers are invaluable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's critical. No way. I know how that goes. And but how now, folks interested in the airship side of things, tell us a little bit about how they can find out more and what and just for we know about it
criteria.
And we know about you, but yeah, give us some criteria for the Airship Caduceus and what it's all about.
Well, originally I started the Airship Caduceus because of the Steampunk Olympiad, and the Olympiad, they would have airships compete against each other, and you could still compete and not be part of a ship, but then the ships would try and conscript you to join their ship for the event, and then so we're doing individual competitions like this year instead of the ships. But I love the thought of having an airship, and basically for people that an airship is basically a club, but in steampunk we travel in airships or zeppelins and stuff like that. So I started the Airship Caduceus, and in homage to my mother, who's a nurse and has been a nurse her whole life. So the Caduceus is a medical frigate. And the first year that we were actually at Symposium as our medical frigate, we had a trunk that we carried around with individual Gatorades and individual packs of Tylenols. And because there are some massive evening parties that happen, and some of the games start really early in the morning, and one of my friends, Brett Daly, I remember we got up for croquet at 8:00 in the morning, and he had an all-night party and slept maybe like 40 minutes, and then came in, and I handed him a Gatorade and some Tylenol, and he's like, "Thank you so much." And I was like, "We have cookies, we have this," and so it was oh my gosh, that was a thing. But so I wanted to have a ship that was helpful. And that was, the medical thing was inspired by my mother, but the Airship Ashanti in Cincinnati has been such an inspiration to me because not only are they an airship, but they really focus on helping their community. They do different fundraisers, they do different events, and I'm constantly inspired by all the things they do to not only have fun as an airship, but also to help people. And I think that's such a wonderful way to be. That it's like, oh, we're going to have fun, but we're also going to do something. We're going to do good to our community. And I love that. So when I started the airship, and you can just go to the Airship Caduceus, and people are like, well, do I have to have a persona? Do I have to have a costume? No, steampunk is what you make it. You can be a bystander. You can just hang out. You can come up with a costume. It's what you want to do. This is about having fun. This is about enjoying yourself. So when I first started the airship, we would meet once a month, and we would have a class. We'd talk steampunk. We'd talk events. We hosted a couple individual events. We had a Halloween event. We had a Victorian Valentine event. And we just started collecting people. And so there's a local belly dancing troupe, Sophia Noir, who is in our airship.
Yes.
Oh, she's amazing. And so just
these
wonderful people from, and we have Tracy Bach, who is Canadian. She was, for a while, she's back in the States now, but so I had Canadian faction, and so we had people from all over the United States. You don't have to be local, and we'd post about the meeting notes, and just learn things. And then when the pandemic hit and we couldn't meet, to keep morale up, I had cocktails with the captain every Sunday, and you could have a cup of tea, you could have an actual cocktail, depending on my mood. Sometimes I had my gin and tonic, sometimes I'd had a hot tea, but we would get together and we'd talk steampunk and talk so it was a mental health thing. How are you doing? How are you coping with things? And just commune with each other, because it's a group of wonderful friends. And I'm grateful to everybody in the airship because we have learned so much from each other and the camaraderie. And that's what I love about it. I mean, we have 205 members in the airship right now. And we usually, the meetings were small. I haven't been able to have the meetings because I'm running a convention, but we had some really nice meetings and just get together. And Tim Davis, who is one of my amazing creator friends, who also designed the Teapot Race Course, which if you go to Steampunk Symposium on the International Steampunk Symposium, because you can see the race course. It is the most beautiful race course I've ever seen in the history of teapot races. Like I'm just aghast. I have so many little doodahs that he's created in my house for I have this cool Frankenstein-y kind of pumpkin thing that he did for our Halloween event. I have for the hobby horse races for the Wild West event last year. He did this dragon, and after he's done with stuff, he's like, I don't want it. I'm like, well, I want it. So I mean, he makes the most beautiful stuff, and because of him, he's inspired other people to do stuff. And so it's just this wonderful group of folks. We get together, we inspire each other, we have fun together, and I think that's, and we help people out, and it's, I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
like the craft day we're having.
Group.
I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with it, and I wouldn't be surprised if I looked up in the sky over Lexington and see this gigantic airship going over one day. It would not surprise me at all. But you mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned Sophia Noir, because I like to always sing her praises with Arabesque World Dance. She has a really nice dance studio here in Lexington, and Sophia is awesome, folks. Yep,
she always performs at the award ceremony, and she always has these cool things that she dreams up and wants to try at Imaginarium, And I'm like, hey, you do whatever you want, Sophia, whatever you want.
Yeah,
I let her run,
and I like her body positivity.
Yeah,
she's very body positive, and that makes me happy as, again, a woman that's a plus size, that anybody can dance, and I love that she's very cool about that anybody can dance.
Yeah, we actually took one of her ballroom dancing classes, and she even had me, and I have definitely 2 left feet when it comes to dancing. She had us dancing out there. So that, yeah, she's obviously she's a great teacher if she can get me to make moves correctly like that. So yeah, that was awesome. I had such fun that time. That was a great day, and I know we at one time we were there and we did was it a drum circle class? That was fun. That drum circle class. Yeah,
we haven't
was
been
awesome.
in a while. We've got to go back.
I know.
Because
we got to see that.
We
again.
used to go to all of her little events, and they're so much fun. She has all kinds of cool little events at the studio.
Yeah, Ken, her husband, Ken and Sophia are just first-rate people. They are just awesome, and always a good time. Yeah, at one of their events. But Arabesque
we have
World
a great
Dance.
group of creatives here in Lexington.
We do. We sure do.
And we migrate. We migrate to Louisville, Cincinnati. You know, we do migrate and do things, but we need to do more things here eventually.
Locally.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
we do.
True.
We really.
That's true. But the Airship
I mean,
Caduceus
there's so much awesome here that we have to spread it out. Like we have to, right?
Yeah.
We got to share the love. We got to get people to Lexington. Like, look what we have to offer. I mean, and we were talking about the creativity with, like, I met a gentleman at the Lexington Comic and Toy Convention last month, and Nicholas Phillippe, and he was like, well, tell me about the steampunk and how do I make a character and how do I do this and that? And then he got excited. He's like, well, do you have a design for your airship? And you were talking about my airship. And then he was like, well, and we have some sketches and we have some designs. And I was like, and that's where the creativity comes in. He's like, well, you could do this to your ship and you could do that. And I was like, well, we're a medical frigate, so we should have little side ships that can pop off if they want to go do something. We should have one that can not only fly in the air, but float in the ocean. And so, I mean, it is fun being able to be creative and come up with some cool ideas for your
stickers.
group.
We need stickers.
Yes.
Oh, I gave you guys. I think I gave you guys a couple and pins and our new International Steampunk Symposium pin that I'm really proud of.
Yep.
That came in. So it's
a sticker. But we need an airship sticker.
Oh, we do. And I'm going to write that down because I actually have a sticker on my car that says my other cars and airships. So we need to come up with
awesome.
And have it there, showing it off. Yes, definitely.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
awesome.
That's a great idea.
Water bottles, people put them on their water bottles now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing, are their iPads and tablets and phones. I mean, my phone case is covered in stickers, so do we ever outgrow our love of stickers?
I got all kinds. I got like 3 million stickers on my laptop.
Oh, yeah, a million stickers. Yeah, she always has a case of them. Yeah.
Well, because they're all awesome. Like I loathe myself in her. I mean, her art style is amazing. Like,
it's
I'm
awesome.
constantly impressed not only by her talent but her output. Like how much she comes out with. I'm like, how did you find the time to do it? Just I'm blown away by the creativity and the quality of her artwork.
Yeah, she was on the show last week, and then this Friday we're playing D&D together. So it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But
oh my gosh, to be a fly on that wall, that sounds amazing.
It is a blast. We do have a very good group.
You could come over and
you can come over
out.
anytime. Yeah, if you just want to come watch the madness, come on over. It's fun.
When is that? When do you guys do that?
Usually we're gonna try to. Friday nights is when we play the games, but usually about every 3 weeks or so.
Because everybody's been so busy lately.
Everyone's
so
busy.
And we're having a taco bar. So everybody's like bringing something and play at about. Everybody gets there about 6:30ish, and then we'll start playing about 7:30 somewhere in there.
Yeah,
that sounds like so much fun. Yeah, I'm a total noob. I'm like a level 3 something, and It's fun. I do like it.
Oh, it's a blast. But I do want to. But we have let's see, about 7 minutes remaining in the show, so I do want to also touch on your artwork and your graphic design, and because that's a big part of you and your background, and obviously, you've designed a lot of things and logos for quite a few organizations, and so I'd like you talk a little bit about what you do as a graphic designer, and do you work can people come to you for freelance work? And I'd like to give you a chance to spot like that if you do.
Well, yeah. Well, I've worked for the Legislative Research Commission for state government for going on 21 years now, and I love my job. But I take a lot of pleasure in doing side work. In fact, you guys know Sean Burton Saunders. I'm working on a logo for him for Cooking Kentucky, and that's fun. I just
nice.
The International Jazz. Oh, right? Yeah, he is a hoot. Yeah, we've had some fun. He is definitely a pleasure to hang out with. Yeah. And the International Jazz Festival last weekend, I did their posters and flyers for that. I love, and then, one of my friends at McCarty Wildlife Management, he does animal stuff in Frankfurt, helps with nuisance animals and helps with animals in general. I just did his logo, and I love stuff like that. I love the opportunity to be creative and get to help people have a professional look. Because that I'm not tooting my own horn, but I went to college 1990 to 94, so I have a heck of a lot of graphic design experience, and it has been wonderful. And you have to keep up with it. With Adobe Creative Suite, holy smokes, the graphics world is something you can't sit on it, and technology is so amazing that you just constantly have to keep learning. And that's why I like, I like getting jobs in, because it keeps my brain sharp. I look stuff up, like my friend Brent, he needed a picture. He wanted to change his color of his shirt, and the background, the sky was like this horrible black. And you can go into Photoshop and you select the sky and you hit add sky, and bam, you can put a beautiful sky. I'm like, whoa.
It's amazing.
What would have taken hours takes like 2 minutes. Technology is such a cool thing. So I do quite enjoy my graphic design. I also take pleasure doing painting, and Justin Stewart of Six Bomb Boards, he started bringing that back. Which are you guys familiar with that at all?
No, actually I'm not.
Boards. Oh, Six Bomb Boards is the bee's knees. So they have different events throughout town, and they put up these 6 boards. And I think the last one was at Brandon Crossing, and usually it'll be at a movie premiere or something. And people will come and do art, and you watch them do art. And I prefer to sit down, so I'll bring my easel and paint. So it's so cool. In fact, I've sold the last couple paintings I did, because I did a Flurkin one time, and then I did Grogu, of course, and then I did a rocket. And but you just paint. And then people come up and talk to you, and what I like is little kids will come up and be like, wow, that's really cool, and I want to paint, or they'll bring a little sketch pad or something, they'll draw, and they'll show people their art. And so it's just basically a bunch of artists get together in art in front of the public, and then you get to meet other artists. And so, Six Bomb Boards is fantastic. And that's Justin Stewart, and he's local, and they have a Six Bomb Boards up in Cincinnati as well, because I reached out to them because I thought it might be fun to have a Six Bomb Boards event at my event and just have creatives. I mean, how fun would it be to have boards set up and have people just draw steampunk stuff or whatever? So that's, I love the fine art, because fine art for me is pleasure. Graphic design is work, but I like costume design or painting. I had a friend come over the other day, and we just painted together, and it was like, oh, I get to breathe and just paint whatever I want, which is delightful. So I do love my fine art, and I feel grateful that I have so many avenues that I can express myself in, with costume design and graphic design and fine art, my painting, my sketching. And next year I will have my first illustrated book out that my dad wrote that I am very excited about. I've been working on that for quite some time, and so I'll be excited to be published next year. And yes. So I love I've been an artist my whole life. There was never a doubt in my mind even when I was little, what do you want to do when you're a grown up? Art. I love creating, whether it be music, like singing, playing, anything. It's just, that's my passion. That's my pleasure is creating.
That is awesome. And we're going to probably go about a minute or two over the live line. So quickly give your contact information, like website or social media platforms that you want people to find you at after the show.
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, jennycat.com with a K, JENNYKAT.com. That's my graphics page. I need to update. On Facebook, that is Jenny Cat Productions. And on Facebook also the Airship Caduceus and the International Steampunk Symposium. And then steampunksymposium.com is our website. And, Jennifer Noran, but you can Noran, but most people will contact me through the Caduceus or Symposium. But, yeah.
Fantastic. And I want to make sure we got that in on the live part. We'll go over a minute or two. I'm not going to keep you up all night. Don't worry. But I want to make sure that the live listeners got that. But as you know,
I didn't even realize what time it was. You guys are so easy to talk to. It's like I've been we've been sitting here for an hour. What, I've been yapping for an hour. Oh my God! I finished my tea. It's like because I've been sitting here for an hour. Wow, that's amazing.
It flies by.
It really
it's weird. But hey, great! You're great company, so it's easy to do. So, but
you guys, you're the best.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But it has just been awesome, and like I said, I personally think your work is phenomenal as an artist, and I definitely have loved all the stuff that I've seen of yours, and I encourage folks, if you're listening and you need somebody with some real skill, definitely contact her. She's good, and I'm so glad Sean was getting his logo because I'm stoked about that Cooking Kentucky show since I heard from him about that, and I didn't realize you were doing the logo work. That is awesome.
Yeah. So, I love. He showed me his show, and I was like, whoa! I mean, how fun is it to be outdoors and cooking? Because food always tastes better outdoors, in my opinion.
Yes.
Over a grill or something. So, yeah, I'm excited about his show.
He owes me a food truck.
Yeah, he owes Holly a food truck.
He told me
God.
Because he makes films, right? And he's like, you know what? I'm going to buy you a food truck one day. He said, when I get my millions, I have a film hit. And I said, Sean, don't tell me that because I'm going to keep you to your word now. I said, you got to put it out. I keep you to your word. I said, I will cater your films for you if you give me that food truck. I said, I'll do it if I have a food truck. But I said, oh, Lord, because I did a film, I cater for friends. I will not cater anymore because that was a lot. But I did 2 meals a day for, how long did I do it, Steve? How many days was that? A week?
A little over a week. Mm-hmm.
2 meals a day. It was like 10 days. And last fall. And I'm telling you, it was
about 40 to 50 meals a day, for each meal. So, I mean, it was about 40 to 50 meals each.
And Sean had to be helping with that. Yeah. And he was helping with that film. And he's like, I'll tell you what. He said, you can cater my, and I said, well, you get me a truck. Give me a truck, I'll do it. But running back and forth, I ain't doing that no more. That was too much trying to do it here and then have to come, with that much stuff. And it was something. But you want to cook good meals. I wanted to cook good hearty meals because it's exhausting and it was cold and people, you needed something that's supposed to stick to your ribs but make them pass out sleeping. So but a food truck I could be right on set.
Jennifer, what you want to do is you get Holly and Sean in the same room because you will see that you'll think that they're related because there's certain aspects of their personalities that they're echoes of each other. I mean, mirrors of each other. It is. Oh, it's so funny. Just the loudness and
other. We're starting to get in the same room in the same area, and it's just a click. He's like the male
It's
version
funny.
of me. I'm the female of him, and
Yeah.
it is hilarious.
It's funny.
We
It is hilarious.
click.
Yeah, they just play off each other, and it is so funny. It's entertaining. You could sell tickets to it. You could sell tickets, but yeah, you're a fantastic artist, and the Airship Caduceus is awesome, and the International Steampunk Symposium is a must attend for anyone in the region that's interested in steampunk. So, I mean, yeah, kudos to you on because we know how it is doing multiple things, and yeah, it is not easy. So yeah, kudos to you on tackling all of this and doing it well. So yeah, so
I have learned a lot for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely rooting for you.
I am so grateful to you, and it's people like you that help feed my heart and soul when I get tired. It's like, hey, people are excited. People believe in me. People believe in the event, and that's what feeds me. That's what gets me excited about this. When I get tired and weary, it's like knowing that I have the support of amazing people just means ever so much to me.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, and for saying that,
awesome.
and yeah,
we're
definitely want to have you back sooner than later again. The show, of course, we're going to see you in July, and yeah, definitely hope some of your Airship Caduceus cohorts are going to have a blast at that. But thank you for joining us tonight and giving us the scoop on the symposium, because yeah, it's a little over a month away, and yeah, I hope folks check it out and sign up, because it's going to be a first-rate event.
100%. Yes, and if anybody has any questions, message me online. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
It's awesome. Well, Holly, do you want to close it out with Jennifer? And yeah, we'll call this a night. But it's been an awesome show.
Heck yeah!
It has.
Well, anytime I get to spend with you guys is a good time. So yeah.
Well, thank you. Is there anything you wanted to mention that we didn't get mentioned before we close out here?
Not that I can think of this time. No.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, and best wishes on a fantastic convention. I know it will be. I know the symposium will be just off the chain. And and yeah, come see us Friday if you get a chance. We will be here and having our D&D game. But yeah,
this
thank
Friday?
you for coming out. Yep, this Friday.
I'll be programming, but I'll message you if it gets done at a decent time and pop over, because we've got so many awesome things. It's like, okay, we got to figure out where to stick them all for the whole weekend.
I know. I do over 125 at Imaginarium.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
Gosh.
I know. Yeah.
Man, yeah, that was impressive.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But it's fun, and like you said, when people come up to you and say, oh, this was wonderful, I enjoyed it so much, and that's what keeps your fire going, and it does.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. And the help of your peers and support, that you get from your peers, is so important, and that's what keeps us going.
I agree, 100%.
Thank you for joining us. And
oh golly,
yeah,
thank you.
It's a privilege.
Well, same here. I've been looking forward to this all day, because I'm like, I get to hang out with my friends and talk about stuff and talk about stuff I'm passionate about. So talk in general. I love talking. Well, you guys know how it is. I mean, you're very passionate about your Imaginarium, so you talk about it because you're passionate about it. So you understand.
Oh, yeah.
And share this around. About 15 minutes after the show, the playback will be available, and you can share it around. We will also put it on our YouTube within next week. On
2 days.
On our YouTube.
2 days after.
Fantastic.
Yep. So you can share that, and we'll shoot you a link. But, yeah, thank you for joining us, and, come back sooner than later. And
my pleasure. Anytime. Seriously, this has been delightful.
It's awesome. And everybody out there in listening land, and come see us. Well, join us. I mean, you won't see us, but you'll hear us next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Another great guest, another great chat, and be creative the rest of the week. Enjoy. Until then, goodbye.